Okay, let's call the meeting to order at 4:07 PM. And I'd like to ask if we have some visitors. Anybody wish to make any public comments this time? No? Everybody's shaking their head and saying no, so we'll just move on. I need to have approval of the minutes. We have two of us present. We haven't heard from the third person, so it's just the two of us.
Yes,
Okay, so
approved.
he's approving and I'm approving the minutes as well.
And that's Commissioner Katz and Commissioner Lester.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chief.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So the two of us are here, but we've not heard from our third person, so we'll just move on. So we're ready for the financial report. If I could have that, Patty, please.
Okay, did you already approve the meeting minutes then?
Yes, we did.
All right, just double checking there. Thank you. All right. Oh, thank you, Chief. All right, today we have the August warrants that total $46,269.67. And the total for payroll is $20,186.95. That includes Chief Carlton's salary of $6,662.92 and Chief Shields' pay of $3,567.43. And there were one event for each of the commissioners and the board secretary last month. The total payout for the volunteers, including the warrants, are $13,052. So today I am requesting the board's approval for the warrants and payroll for the month of August. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you, Patty. This is Virginia. I would like to discuss some of the warrants that have to do with payout. I understand supplies and fuel and all of that sort of thing, but could you brief us on some of the supplies that we've gotten? Is this because we're replacing some of our supplies, or is it something else?
Are you referring to the items over $1,000 or the items under the
Yes.
visa?
Yes, the over 1,000. Yes.
Yes.
This is our AED annual contract.
Okay.
Servicing of our AEDs. This is for placing helmets, firefighting helmets.
Okay.
New guys. This is belts and other supplies that we have for the guys. We had to replace one of the motors for our bay doors. The motor finally packed it in.
Oh, okay.
So that's what this one is for.
Okay.
And that is for the AED or automatic defibrillator that we have the annual service contract.
Oh, okay. Do you have any questions about this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Chief Shields.
Thank you. That's very good. Okay, so I would entertain a motion to then accept the warrants and payroll as. Okay, so you are granting
The warrants items over 1,000.
well, no, the warrants for $46,269.67 and the payroll of $20,186.95. So I approve and you approve. Okay, they've been approved. When there's only two of us, it's pretty straightforward here. We're now ready for Chief. Did you have? Oh, Patty, do you have anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Virginia. Just a real quick update on the budget remaining as of July 31st, 2024. We currently have 49.61% of the 2024 budget, and that is compared to 49.88% this time last year. So we're trending right on schedule.
Good, thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
great. Is there anything else you need to share with us?
I do not have anything else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chief, do you have correspondence or assistant chief? No.
I do not.
No correspondence.
Okay, who's doing the chief's report?
That would be me.
Okay, thank you.
I'm
Um,
actually here and part of the meeting. So
We just don't see you.
we, I'm not showing you because I'm sitting in a conference hall right now with toilets behind me. So I'm that's why you're not seeing where I'm sitting. So I'm gonna go ahead
Okay.
and turn the camera off again, if that's okay.
That's fine, thank you.
Okay. So we're up to the chief's report.
Yes, please.
Can everybody see that?
Yes, yes, fine.
Okay, Chiefs report for the month of August, for July 2024. We have our open house coming up, August 24th, 11 to 3. Should be a good open house this year. Obviously, there's helicopters in line to come, but sometimes it can't make it because of calls. We were awarded a $241,000 grant through Definitely Graces that we're able to replace all of our portable radios. We will still have to purchase our mobile radios, which are the radios that go in the apparatus, because the grant doesn't cover that. So we'll be spending some out of our capital reserves to make that full purchase. But we are very graced to receive $241,000 and change from the federal government through the Assistance to Firefighter Grant process.
What?
Any questions on that? Any questions on that?
Very,
No, thank you. Do you have any questions?
no.
Okay.
Thank you. That's really
Yeah.
exciting.
So apparatus, engine 5803 had a brake repair. That was over $6,000 to be able to conduct that. We're still having some issues. It was frozen up the other day when I decided to pull it out. So we'll probably have to take it down to Ferndale again and have them take a look at it again. I also understand engine 5802 may be needing a brake job as well. So that'll be a cost that we'll have to overcome in the coming months. Still have 51 members, 36 dual Canadians, 12-point Roberts, and 3 county. 3 paramedics on staff, 10 EMTs, of which 5 are advanced EMTs, 1 registered nurse, 1 ambassador, and of those 51 members, 38 are certified firefighters. Volunteer hours for the month of July, 3,288. Volunteer payroll, $16,012. Combined chief hours, I worked 197 hours in the month of July. Assistant Chief Shields, 115 for a total of 312 hours. We had a really busy month. We had 55 calls, 18 EMS calls. We had 4 transports to St. Joe's, 3 airlift calls, 11 no transports. So those would most likely be refusals. We had 16 in-home healthcare visits, and we had 6 public service. We had 15 fire classifications, 5 permitted burns, 3 illegal burns. We had 4 false alarms. We had 1 power line issue. Down the, we had a wrong address dispatched to us, and we had a water problem last month. So that concludes my chief's report for the month of August for July 2024. Any questions?
No.
No, we have no questions. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it's any other unfinished business that anybody wants to bring up? Nope. Okay, let's move on to new business.
Yeah.
And our guest is Tony Kelly is here to join us again this year. Has it already been a year? My goodness. Okay. So would you like to give us your report?
Yes, honorable commissioners, Lester and Katz, Chief Carlton, Assistant Chief Shields, Finance Manager Markel, and District Secretary Hughes. Thank you, and the public and guests. Thank you for allowing me to bring forward the renewal for the fire district's insurance, which Chief Carlton has it up here on the screen. It renews on September 1st. And so we're trying to stay ahead of that and allow you to make changes and corrections as you see fit. This year, the policy is based, and if we move ahead, Chief, there to about on my sheet here, we move right into some of the property coverages. And most importantly is over here on page 4, it's the limits of insurance for the values. And this is where we see this, there it is. And this is the values of your building, 4,072,237. And then your property inside the building and within in the parameters of the building, 488,668. So that includes your total stated values for buildings and property, includes earthquake and flood, but it's a blanket policy, so it's 4,560,905, and all of that carries the flood and the earthquake is 1,000 deductible. The other deductibles are lower, and that's for the building is 500 deductible. So I just wanted to point that out. That's important. We've had one change to the building coverage where we added a telescoping radio tower. So that's just came in today. It's valued at 70,000. We had it added on in July for that month. It costs about $12 for the insurance. So we anticipate that to be roughly about $150 a year for that one. But that will be included in the billing. So there's a little bit there of change. But other than that, we can move on to the next section is liability coverage, which is gives you what the liability coverage is for the district. And it's over on page 9. And it shows a 10 million aggregate with 1 million per occurrence. And so each occurrence, they could pay 1 million, up to 10 of those $1 million claims in 1 year. So that's the liability, and the locations there are, of course, 2030 Benson Road and the 600 block of the APA Road in Tyee. That's the all hazards area broadcasting tower that we insure for liability, right? So that's important. There is another section that we can move into. Oh, any questions?
No.
No, okay, so I'm just I'm going through this nice 29-page presentation that they provide us. And if we move on to the next important coverage page, and all these are the extra ancillary coverages that come with liability. So that's what we're looking at on these pages. But if we move to page 14, we find the limit of cyber insurance. So we got a couple more there. Yep, we're going one more. And here we come to page 14. So 500,000 for your cyber liability, which is important these days. Cyber is that kind of unexpected sort of event that gets into your data, or other is, as we well know, phishing. There isn't a day goes by that our phishing doesn't seem to happen in our emails. And people tend to know who you are and what you're doing, and they send you an invoice and they expect you to pay it. And 40% of those get paid, unfortunately. So I just wanted to point out that should you ever get extorted by the internet, you've got a little bit of coverage there, $500,000 to be exact. And moving on, the next page, which is page 15, shows our liability for our business auto. Or excuse me, on page 16 is the liability for the business auto, and that's $1 million combined single limit. That includes the symbols there, symbol 1 and symbol 2. That's any owned auto, and actually symbol 1 is any auto that your district is using has this $1 million liability protection. And we, with all due respect, you know, you can commandeer vehicles and things of that nature if you need to, but it would extend liability for any auto. And over on the next page is the list of vehicles and apparatus on page 17. And I believe Chief Carlton will roll that ahead, but it shows our 13 vehicles. And the last one that we added, last year we had a question about the 2003 Kawasaki. It's considered a vehicle, so we had it added on. I misspoke in last year's meeting and said it was automatic coverage, and it is not. And so we add that one on, and then also the Caravan, which is your welcome home van for your 2020 Toyota Sienna. And congratulations, I'm sure we'll all see that at the upcoming open house, unless it's being used. And that's a wonderful addition to the services that Point Roberts Fire and Rescue provides for their citizens. So very important there. The next few pages cover some of the important parts of the business auto, and also kind of wanted to point out that your volunteers' vehicles are covered should they be involved in an accident on the way to and from a emergency. On the way to the emergency, they have more coverage than on the way home, but they depend on the vehicle having primary coverage. So I wanted to share that with you. And then moving on to the next section that's of importance besides the business auto is the umbrella, which, oh, excuse me, I jumped ahead a little bit. On page 22, we talk about portable equipment. Over on page 22, and that's all of your, as we know it, your portable radios, your self-contained breathing apparatus, all those important tools that are usually found in the fire truck or on the fire scene. So those are all included with a $250 deductible. And that's part of your blanket coverage for property. And the next page shows over on 23, it shows the extra coverages for that members' personal property and things of that nature. And then recently there was a conversation about drones, and automatically cover your drone up to $25,000. So that's important. One of the next section, so we're on page 24, gives you the umbrella liability. This umbrella policy provides you, it's over on page 24. Yep, there you are. And it provides you $10 million of liability over top of all your other, your $1 million liability for your general liability, your public officials liability, your all of the business auto, and all that liability comes over top of it with the 10 million. So your total insured liability limit is $11 million. And we just wanted to show that to you. And then there's always how They describe its excess over top of any primary liability, and of course, covers your employees. There's the next page brings up the safety and training and e-training, which you make good use of. And then the dollars and cents behind all this is on the last page, 27, which shows the premium for this year at 49,856, and that includes terrorism. And traditionally, we have purchased terrorism for that is important coverage as well. In the unlikely event that a terrorist act happens, being you're in a international environment, so to speak, we think that's important. But just to kind of speak loudly to the changes, so this represents about a 15% increase. This is up $7,418 from last year. But part of that is that they build into the property values. There's an increase of 217,186 in property values for building in your business personal property. And also between the Kawasaki, the Toyota Sienna, the Neo Tower, we've increased values there by 134,000. So part in part is, even though some of the increases based on more insurance, but also, as you well know, the environment for insurance companies in general, we're seeing low teens, mid-teens as a general rate increases is seen across the industry. So I'd like to present that to the commissioners for your decision, and with your request to bind coverage for September 1st. I do have documentation that we will provide Chief Carlton to sign for the policy request form, the statement of values, and there's a crime supplement that we have for the monies and securities. And then if we're going to keep terrorism, then that would be the only document. So we can provide those to Chief Carlton for signature via DocuSign, which is very efficient. And we appreciate your business. And thank you, commissioners, for hearing this proposal. And we look forward to renewing for your September 1st renewal, and hope to see you at the open house on the 24th. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, one of them was, I was curious about you're looking after the software that we use for any problems with someone breaking into our software. There was one piece of that part of that you presented. I think it was for 25,000 or something.
Yeah, cyber. That's in their cyber section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One question there. Have you ever had to pay that out, or was that ever an issue in any of the fire departments that you're taking care of? Just out of curiosity.
Well, we've had some issues, and we always look to see if there's reason to believe that there's been hackers or otherwise. But I did have an event that happened and it was the proverbial hostage sort of where they take your computer program hostage. And well, it was typically there was some finger pointing as to whose problem it was, because they had taken control, and it was typically called a Trojan horse virus. And so it needed a payment, and our cyber platform paid out the ransom, which was $1,500. And in the end, it turned out to be the computer backup company was the one that allowed the breach to happen. So there was some attorneys involved, but it was indeed early on in some of these phishing and Trojan horse type viruses that take your software ransom, and then you have to pay to get the key back to open it up. So part of that is to have encrypted emails and things of that nature. So I'm glad, that's a good question, but yes, we do pay claims based on cyber. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Interesting.
Chief, do you have any comment that you want to make about this? Yes.
I've reviewed
No?
it. I don't have anything. Obviously it's disappointing that it goes up, so much a year. And this year it increased by $7,000. We just need to, in my opinion, we need to keep that and watch that increase per year. I know Tony can explain that a little bit more because of the industry itself and that cost, but it's great coverage. We have our own certificate of coverage. We're not part of a pool. So CIAW is running into issues, I believe now. They've lost a lot of customers. And that's a pool, and that's what we used to be in. Although cheaper, it did not provide us the security we needed in case we need all the funds that we're covered for in a natural disaster or Cascadia event, loss of a vehicle, etc. So I still think it's money well spent for the coverage that we receive and the confidence of that agency. But again, a little disappointing due to the increase and what that is adding up to be on a yearly basis.
Thank you. My concern was the fact that we're dealing with cyber so much now that, and we sort of in the past thought it wasn't necessary or as necessary here. And I think that's at the point where we really have to feel that we're covering all of our bases, and that is part of that 7,000 increase. Is that not correct?
It's included in the package, and it was there last year as well. But the effects of cyber extortion in the industry are in fact affecting premiums. There's no doubt about that. This is we have seen 30 and 40% increases in some of our commercial policies, and so respectfully so. Well, it seems like $7,418 is definitely an increase. There was some added coverage, indeed, and it keeps us in about the 15% range. We would expect that next year we'll see some relief, and it'll be in the lower teens. And that's kind of the indication of the market that in 2025 we'll see some relief coming from what's driving this. As you well know, our fire district provides wonderful fire protection and protection class rating, and what's really affecting is residential homes. And I think every one of us that owns a home has seen our premiums increase by 40 to upwards of 50% this year. So the industry is being stressed, but the commercial side of it is pretty strong, and we're seeing signs of relief in the next couple of years that it'll stabilize. Thank you.
But thank you very much. We need to bring this up for, yeah, okay, for today. All right, you want to make a motion?
To,
Accept it as it was presented.
yes. To.
You're not helping. Okay. All right, we have a motion on the floor presented by our esteemed partner here. That we will accept the, proposal for, liability or insurance liability. As presented by, our, agent. And at this point, changes. Your agreement with that, okay, that passes. Thank you very much. And thank you, Tony,
thank you.
very nice.
Thank you for,
Thank
always
you
a
for-
pleasure to serve Point Roberts. Thank you.
Okay, Chief, do you have anything else that you want to bring up?
Well, there's one more.
Yeah. Is Chief, are you doing that or,
Yeah.
okay,
So the other item under new business is architect, and we got a proposal. I believe it's in the $6,000 range to go ahead and work out all the logistical datas, drawings, county needed information for the projected building that would be erected next to the medical clinic, between that wall and the tower, radio tower that has gone up. So I just needed to discuss that with you, make sure that was okay to move forwards with that architect, and get that established and drawn up. So in the future, next year, that would be the most prominent time, would be to erect that building in case we move forwards with an ambulance purchase, to be able to house our additional apparatus, which we don't have room for now. Again, I'm still having an ambulance grant out there. I have not gotten a denial letter on that ambulance grant at this point. And the new ambulances are going to be bigger than anything we have at this point. And they would not fit back to back in the current setup in the apparatus bay, how the ambulances are currently positioned. So they would have to be moved out. That would allow us to store some other additional equipment there. But the first step is actually getting the architectural drawings and the land mapped out and all of that stuff done. So I just need to make sure that's okay with you and have permission to move forwards on that.
as far as I'm concerned, I think that we already talked about this quite a bit, and I think we were all in favor of it, so, it's okay with you to proceed in, the process of getting all of the data together and build a building.
Okay, I'll appreciate that, and I'll update you on the process and when the drawings and stuff like that are complete for the site and for the building. Obviously, I'll introduce those to you, and hopefully I have more information on moving forwards. The good thing about the grant that we received, obviously, that saves us $241,000 that now can be redirected to other projects. So it's truly a blessing. And we'll see what comes out of the ambulance grant. If we receive that one, that would be upwards of 300,000 for a new ambulance.
That's great. So when do you think we'll hear about that, or do you have any idea?
The vehicle grants have just started rolling out. Every Friday, they put out the new recipients of grants, and we're just starting to see vehicles as part of that. I believe last week was the first vehicles on Friday. So, I would say in the next, 2 or 3 weeks, if we haven't heard anything on the vehicles, it's probably not likely that we're going to be getting that grant. So we'll for sure know definitively, I would hope by next meeting, for sure.
Good. Okay, anything else, Chief?
Just so everybody knows, I'm in Dallas, Texas at the Fire Chiefs Conference International Association of Fire Chiefs. It's called the IFC FRI Conference, Fire Rescue International. This is a conference I try to come to every year to gain professional development and also meet with the providers of the things we purchase. So today I had a big meeting with Verizon and discussing our situation in Point Roberts, not only for emergency services, but also the community at large. And I seem to have spoken to the right individual today. The people I've been speaking with, he's actually their manager, and he was not given any information on that. I have emails going back at least a decade with Verizon. So I'm hoping, optimistic, cautiously, that we'll get some traction on potentially some changes that will improve LTE service in Point Roberts.
Great. Yes, I know, we've been arguing with them for a long time, yeah. Thank you. Anything else? No.
Just the other thing, I met with one of the radios, one of the radio manufacturers, Motorola, today, had an hour discussion with them. I'll be furthering the discussions over the next 2 days with them, and also looking at some other manufacturers of radios while I'm here. And Chief Shields is actually testing 2 of the radios that Motorola offers. One of them at least, but he has 2 radios. And
That's impressive.
yeah, so the biggest thing that's changing is they're basically becoming cell phones. And the problem with that is, there's an interface, which is good for the younger generation because the younger generation understands, the cell phone interfaces and can work through them very quickly. But it's also technology that we may not need at this point. But with this purchase, we need to plan for the future as well. So I'm trying to balance that, and we'll see where it takes us.
Sounds like a plan. Anything else to bring up you? No? Chief Shields?
Yep.
Anything from down there? Well, we just had a member join us. You're just a bit. Okay, all right. Okay, so I would entertain a motion to.
Motion to adjourn.
We'll adjourn our meeting at 4:45.